Attention passengers. This is your co-pilot speaking. Your pilot is black mind, so you are not going blind and there is no power failure. You are merely experiencing the immense blackness of his proximity, and when you hear his voice, you and the cabin will get even darker than you are currently. We will be cruising at the speed equal to light, because the one other thing that travels equally fast is darkness. Your loved ones awaiting your arrival may not recognize you at first sight. This is normal. Simply tell them about the pilot, and they will understand. We will taxi to the runway now, so please buckle up and prepare for a high-speed departure. Thank you for choosing Jet Black Airways, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. We hope you keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Justice forever.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Send me and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. This is what's going on right now, y'all. I've watched as not only my students have improved over the last 4 years, but I've also watched as the Manosphere has improved over that same length of time. I've really been watching it a lot since 2018, and I'm in a few months I'll be into my 4th year actively recording. I started to listen to some of it in 2017, and then and that was groundbreaking for me, but 2019 I began to record. Really record. And since that time I've watched as the Black Manosphere has improved in its overall maturity. And I've looked at black men, Eidos and Nan, and said, this is actually pretty objective. I'm watching a group of men that have a bad habit of going into extremes because they were raised by those who see things in extremes and very emotionally. And now they've come into more objectivity. And I have to actually say, hey, this is great. Because see, we've been a people that have traditionally not come into maturity, especially with each other. We've been very objective and very fair when we're dealing with other people with whom we really should be objective and fair, but also should be harsh. We've refrained from that, and we've been unobjective, very subjective, unfair, and very harshly so with each other, historically speaking, as a race, not just as one ethnicity or one people within the race, but as a race. The Nigerian, the Jamaican, the Trinidadian, the South African, the Zimbabwean, the Botswanan, the Belizean, the Eidos. We've generally been this way with each other. Let's call it what the F it is. I've heard Liberians talk trash about each other just like I have heard African Americans. That's how I know that a lot of good and bad habits alike, especially bad, black folks have generally shared across and around the Atlantic and around the continent. But I've watched as the Black Manosphere has taken all of these things that are negative stereotypes, exaggerated and true, and the Black Manosphere has said collectively, we are no longer going to be niggas or niggers. However you want to pronounce it, we're going to stand upright and be men. We're not going to be either one of the N words, let alone a niggerilla. We're going to throw out the anti-intellectualism, and we're not going to go the opposite extreme either. We're not going to go to the opposite extreme, what we used to be, and become defenseless milquetoast men. We're not doing either one of those. We're going to be sharp. We're going to balance intellectual strength with physical strength, at least physical preparedness. And I look at you, black man, trying to strike this balance, and I say, hats off to you. Nobody does a perfect job of it, but you're doing it. You were doing exactly what we thought that we could not do. The Black Manosphere has actually set itself up as a shining example for other black folks outside of itself. And I watched as the Golden Sphere started and quickly imploded and degenerated into bickering factions because of the gender war that I warned them to not bring in from the N-word community from which it was coming, from which its members were coming, and it did. And even saw some balanced women fall victim to ways of thinking that were going to push away men. And they did it. Found out that it was actually already there. Because a lot of the ladies that were in the Golden Sphere did not know that they were rubbing shoulders with a few gender warriors. And the men were not. Didn't realize this. It's too late. The damage is done as far as I know. I've looked at the Golden Sphere and realized I can't do anything to help as much as I might want to. My heart weeps, but I can't do anything about it. And so I say this to you all on YouTube and Odyssey without charging for this particular message, so that you keep up the good work, so that you understand the potential you have and from which this realized potential has come. Sort of like a muscle that, you know, it's strong. You don't realize how strong it is, but it is. And because of that, you're able to carry a lot of weight with that particular muscle, but you might get lazy if you're not aware of it. And it's like that. That's why I'm mentioning this to you. I do want you to stay on track though. As I told you that I was proud of you for keeping the banjo playing white conservatism out of the black manosphere before. And I mentioned that so that you would stay on track. I'm telling you this in general about balance, that you've gotten better in the balance. I'm not saying anybody's been perfect at it, but you've generally gotten better. The exceptions don't disprove the rule. They're exceptions. I've even seen some men that were black but not in the black manosphere show this. Andrew Tate is one example. Before he became Muslim, I saw him express sympathy for the average normal man while telling men to be their better selves. But I knew they were coming for him when he became Muslim. I think he knew as well. And I don't think that he or his brother are going to get out soon. I want to be wrong, but that's another topic and talk for another day. Right now, I wanted to tell you that I see your potential and I am proud of you, vaingloriously so. Keep it up. Last thing I'll ask you all to do is to help out one of Dwight Hayes' friends that he said helped him to co-write the tenets of SYSBM. His Cash App tag is DHAYES2622. So please send to him, because his friend doesn't live too far away from him and he can easily get those funds to his friend who's injured. And I say this largely because I know that you and the manosphere, the black manosphere, can come through for him, because you've done this for others before. You've done it for me without me even being in that bad of a situation. So right now, don't prioritize me. If you want to help me, not Cash App, Patreon's the best way. For now, when money's tight because of the holidays that just got through, please go ahead and come through for Dwight Hayes' friend and neighbor instead for now. And then with whatever you got left, feel free to go to my Patreon and join, because that's a better deal. Odyssey is where I'll put some of the paid uploads up for $1 US piece. But right now, please focus on Dwight Hayes' neighbor and friend that helped him to co-write this, without whom we wouldn't have the same SYSBM that we have. As always, thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, black heterosexual, non-select male power because they don't like it, black patriarchy until extinction of judgment day. Thanks for flying with Jet Black Airways again, where jet black is also a verb. Keep jet black with me till the wings and the wheels fall off. Justice forever.